They do as they're told. I'm joking.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, the thing is, obviously, a lot of people are going to be completely outraged by that. But
Well, are younger people just more eager to please?
some men can be, and that can be part of the dynamic, because as an older woman, you can ask for what you want. But then just the fact that can obviously, physically they are younger, they can keep...
Their stamina.
Indeed.
That's right. Now, we know that men have this schoolgirl fantasy, they like a young hot thing wearing a little Catholic schoolgirl uniform. Rita, what's a young boy fantasy?
But I like them really pretty.
Like
Ashton Kutcher would be perfect.
Just hitting puberty and hairless? Is that how you like it?
I love people that, obviously I actually like really, one of my ex-boyfriends had a master's. He was considerably younger than me. I like a debate. I like someone that I can connect with intellectually. And obviously, every woman is different, but I really like quite feminine men. Myself, I don't go for the whole macho muscled up thing. That doesn't do it for me.
So you do like the toy boy then?
I do like the Jude Law, very pretty boy. Yes, definitely, that does it for me. Yeah.
Now, Max, you said you're going to try an experiment and see how many men are actually.
Yeah, we'll do that in January. Like I say, we've got.
Hey, you better give us credit for that.
I will do indeed. I won't charge you. We have got the models. They are hounding us to put it in, but we have reluctant, put them to the side.
You have older models that are hounding you
yes,
to...
absolutely, to put them in. And they have had some modifications done.
What do you mean by modifications?
They're bench pressing more. They've had their breasts done, and they've had some liposuction done. And, yeah, they do look stunning in a way, but again,
what do you mean stunning in a way?
They just look like old women that have just had a new pair of tits and their stomachs sucked in, and it is not attractive. These particular women, I'm not saying all.
You know what infuriates me though? You can see a man with a pot belly, wrinkles, balding, at a club, and still hitting on an 18-year-old girl, thinking I can get this girl, and
I know,
and thinking that he deserves it.
I know. Really,
and anytime a woman does it, it's like, oh, she's desperate and she's such an old hag.
Yeah.
Personally, I agree with what you say. That's what happens. I mean, I don't do that, but it does happen.
Okay, you're editor of Loafer, and you're quite objective, and you deal with models who want to be in the magazine all the time.
Yep.
In your objective opinion, isn't Rita a sexy woman, regardless of what her age is?
Yes.
Why, thank you.
She is. She's a right damn fine cougar. But you see, women that are sort of, or the models that we got are nowhere near what Rita looks like.
So what kind of 35, 36-year-olds are approaching you to put them in a magazine?
The tired ones. I mean, look, for instance, Gokwen's program, How to Look Good Naked.
Yeah, which I absolutely love.
Which I don't watch. But when, I've had lads around when we're working late, and it's on, and some of the women, they look awful when they take their clothes off, and they think, come on, what world are you living in? Snap out of it. You're in love with your own body, but other people don't find you attractive. Men won't find them attractive.
There's men. I mean, like I just said to you earlier, Rita, you know I'm telling the truth. These men, if you ever go out on a Friday night, you ever go to a bar, you ever go to a club, you see these uncles, okay, who completely think that they're Mac Daddies and trying to think that, trying to buy you a drink and trying to get in your pants because they think they can.
Yeah.
Which is really sad. And what is even sadder is a lot of times they're successful. Which is infuriating.
Well, I think again, it comes down to the fact that, you get this, one of the questions I get asked is, do you very often worry about that, as you get older, that the men are just going to leave you? And I said, well, why is it that you would think that women would be more likely to be the emotionally weaker ones? Why are women supposed to be weaker than men? Mm-hmm. whereas men, well, let's face it, we still do live in a male-dominated world, and I think it always comes back to the fact that, you know, women are supposed to be nurturing. They're the ones that keep the family together. You know, we're all very feminine.
And there is
with
that misconception that as a woman gets older, that she's going to become more insecure and she's going to become
she's going to lose her looks quicker.
Competitive with the younger girls, and that's not true.
No.
And I don't. Well, if it was true, I think that's changing. Just a couple of stereotypes when I was just putting the show together of, you know, older women and younger men. People assume that an older woman who's dating a younger man they're easy.
Yeah.
True or
oh,
false?
yes, definitely. They think somehow you're promiscuous, that that you'd sleep with anyone all the time. Because I think, you know, they assume that you're somehow a lush if you're, you know, like you said, a lot of Asian women don't talk about their sexuality, or.
And if they do, that means that obviously they're you know, they're
a
easy.
whore or
That's
something.
right.
You know, if I can use such strong language.
You just have. Let me just ask you this though: what do you think of younger women who go after older men?
Well, again, you know, I get a lot of older men saying to me, I think you get two reactions from the older men. Oh my gosh, you know, we like younger women, or, you know, we can't believe you're doing what you're doing. Of course, it's going to work the other way around. Some women are attracted to, ultimately for me, bottom line, and this, some people call me a bit of an idealist, maybe I am, but again, anything that pushes people out of their comfort zones and challenges their beliefs and stereotypes works for me. So if a younger woman finds an older man attractive and he happens to be 25, 30 years older than her, then she should go for it if that's what she wants.
See, now, I'm all for, you know, being who you are and loving who you want to love and being with who you want to be with. But what could you possibly have in common with somebody who's that much older or younger than you?
Well, you know, I again use a quote that was from the papers yesterday. I think what you tend to find is people like me who can go across the ages, you know, don't look their age. You're going to find in an older man too. He isn't going to be your typical 70-year-old. Because, yeah, of course, if he was your typical 70-year-old, he would have very little in common with his, I don't know, 40, 50-year-old girlfriend, perhaps. Or let's take it even, you know, a 20-year-old girl and a 50-year-old man. And then, so either they're exceptional people, or it is about the money and it is about sex. I'm all for being a realist as well. Those things do go on, and we are human beings. But again, it's about having the debate and people not being afraid to do it because of what people might say. Just mean,
right.
And having fun, and maybe it's about feminism as well for women, that it's a woman.
It's quite empowering that, you know, women have that choice, that option to date who they want to, and that a woman can now be so open and honest about who she is.
Yeah, you know, and I'm really grateful that, you know, I'm not going to walk out the door and get stoned.
Fingers crossed, the show isn't over yet. Listen, on a final
I'll probably get stoned.
On a final note, Max, your magazine Loafer, you know, it's breaking stereotypes, and it's you know, trying to change the way people think about sex and Asians in particular. What's your hope for conversations like this?
I hope these kind of conversations now start up.
Why do you think there's a need for it?
Because I think that, I mean, it's just the same with our magazine. You know, all this stuff that we've got in the magazine has been around for a long time. It's just been hidden in a cupboard. And what Rita's doing, she's opening this cupboard and bringing these subjects out. And until we do that, we won't open out, and we won't understand, like men won't understand women's needs.
Rita, what about you? What are your hopes from this show, from the website that you run?
Well, really, it is about for people out there to stop being so judgmental. Come on, we are living in 2009. We don't need to be hiding about what we feel. And, you know, let's think about it. If people like our generation is still so coy about these subjects, just think what we're doing for our daughters and the world that they're going to live in, because they're going to carry our baggage with them into the future. So let's not do it.
Older women who love younger men. Never heard of it? Now you have. You're watching Broken Silence. I'll be back next week, same time, same place.